wife workload, everything, bedroom workload. You guys get what I mean? Oh my goodness, Sandra. See, I really don't want to talk about this aspect of my life, but you guys called for it and now you got it. Hey fam, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Welcome to another beautiful video. My name is Sandra. If you're coming across my face for the first time, to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back to watch this channel, and to all my new subscribers, you're welcome to Sandra's Realities YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a very important part of my life that I don't actually see as a big deal, but because people always throw this question at me, you know, asking me, Sandra, how do you even pull through all of these things? Because yes, you guys, I'm always on the go. I will admit that, because if I calculate my life in a whole day, I will see that sometimes I barely have 30 minutes of my time to just sit for myself. But recently I said, no, Sandra, you were Sandra before you became Daniel's mother. And you were Sandra before you became Oga Bright's wife. So I said, let me start planning myself. When I started doing that, I discovered that, you know, time is actually what you call it. Yes, time is actually enough when you plan it very well. This is me sharing with you guys some of the tips that help me achieve my work-life balance, you know, as a parent. Yeah, because you guys know that recently I went back to school. Nursing school for that matter. It's very, very tedious. It's very time demanding, because I leave this house 7:30 a.m. every day, and then I come back past 4 p.m. every day. And that's how you dive into cooking. If it's a day for market, you do market runs. If it's a day for school runs, you do school runs, come back, do market runs, and then you set to cook dinner. From dinner, you're attending to the children. From after that, you guys already know I have a toddler. From attending to Emmanuel, you're attending to my husband the moment he comes back. And from my husband, you're moving to studying. If it's a day I have to study. So the way I still have time to create content, put out here, and although I know that most of my content these days are just vlogs, let's not even go into that. Oh gosh, let's not go into that. Let's not go into that, because I know that you are tired of boring vlogs. Yeah, but trust me, 2025, I'm going to make it up to you all. It's been a whole lot. It's all glory to God Almighty. Life has been good. Life has been cool. Okay, so let's dive right into, you know, the way I navigate all of these things and put them together and still have time left for my beautiful self. Okay, so the first thing I do is to create a to-do list every morning. The moment I get up from this bed and I say my prayers, the first thing I do is to pick my phone, go to my Google task, and create a to-do list. Even sometimes before I go to bed in the night. That's the first thing I do. And trust me, when you do that, or when you start doing that, it is going to help you manage your time. If I set out that I'm going to spend 3 hours at school, I'm going to check my timetable to know the lecturers that will be coming into class, you know, the course I am having difficulty with and the one I'm not having difficulty with. I'll just balance myself. If it's something I can read up on the note afterwards and then I understand it, that means I have to balance my time, except in a case where there is an emergency that I need to attend to. If not, trust me, if you begin to, you know, do a to-do list, set out time to do a particular thing at a particular time. And one of the reasons why I'm filming this video is because I have so many young mothers on my channel. I have many of them on my channel because I know the level of messages I get on a daily basis from them, especially when I stay out of YouTube and I don't put out videos. I'll be like, wow, Sandra, are people really watching your videos? Why am I now having low views? Yes, because it's baffling me. You know, you find out that the people that are still sticking here are people that are actually looking up to your videos every day. So it encourages me to keep doing more of vlogs, right? Because people do learn a lot from my vlogs every day. So the first thing I do is to create a, you know, to-do list, and it really helps me in organizing my task, everyday task. It helps me to organize my time very, very well. And also it also helps me to reduce like overwhelming task, because already you've programmed yourself, you've set out time that this is it, this is the time for this, and I'm going to definitely do this at this time. So it really helps me. It really helps me to like separate work from school, from family time. If I'm going to the market, I'm spending like this is how many minutes I'm going to spend at the market, unless in days when I have to hold up on the road. I know that, oh, this one is beyond my control. And sometimes when I do, I just park my car and pick keke, provided I meet up with that time. And sometimes even if I tamper the time for another task, it will be very little, maybe 30 minutes. I'll just chop off 30 minutes off the next time. I will know that this time around, if I was supposed to retire to bed by 11 p.m., which is usually my time to sleep, because I do wake up by 12 a.m. to pray. That means sometimes if I fail 12 a.m., I'll wake up by 1 a.m. I cannot come and kill myself, but God knows I'm trying my best, honestly. So I'll know that I've actually tampered with this time. That means if I was meant to sleep by 11, I'm not going to be sleeping by 12 or maybe 11:30 or thereabout. So creating a to-do list really helps me a lot in achieving my goals every day. And yeah, I know some of you will be asking, how do you create a to-do list? You can use Google. Google is the best. Google has a to-do list version where you can create your to-do list, and once that time is set, or 30 minutes before the time, is reminding you that you're supposed to do this in the next 30 minutes. So that really helps me a lot, and that is the first one. The second thing I do is to set clear boundaries. Like, if it is time for work, it is time for work. If it is time for my school, it is time for my school. If it's time for family, it is time for family. So once you start setting these boundaries and you mean it and you become serious with it, you take it up, you know that, see, we need to respect these boundaries. Even my husband has started adapting to that. When I'm studying, he doesn't come to worry my life with anything that has to do with the house. Trust me. When I'm filming, my husband will not come and worry me with, see, things like, another thing that helps me so much is the fact that God gave me the kind of man that understands me. Because when I set these boundaries initially, he actually affected us. But when I began to explain to him that now I'm back to school, I need to balance family with content time, my time as a student. I need to balance these things. And when I started doing it initially, my husband didn't really understand that. But then when I explained to him that it is quite important for us to adapt, he started adapting. For example, if I'm filming, my husband will just walk in, freshen up, go to the kitchen and dish food. See, it doesn't make him less of a man. It doesn't at all. It doesn't make him less of a man. Stuff like that. My children will come back from school. He can tell them, okay, do this, do that, do that, do that. People should not disturb mommy. She's filming. I don't know if you guys understand that, or she's studying. So if you begin to set these boundaries, after you must have discussed it with your spouse, it really helps a whole lot. Another thing I do that really helps me, which is also an added advantage, is the fact that I involve my children in daily tasks. I don't just leave my children out of it and be like, oh, I'm a parent, I have to boo him, I have to keep myself because I'm a parent. No, I give them age-appropriate duties, house chores that are age-appropriate. They do it, and that's how they learn. It's also helping them to grow because they are children. We are parents. We need to teach. We need to, allow them do certain things. It helps them because, trust me, when they go out of my sight, for example, they go into the university, it's going to help them. They're going to do all of these things for themselves. So I also involve my children, like, do this while this person does that, and then I'm doing this one. It really helps us in managing time. It helps me a lot. And that one is an added advantage because I know I have people watching me that their children are still very small, or maybe they don't have a housekeeper. Like me now, for the past how many months, I don't have a housekeeper. For the past 7 to 8 months, I don't have a housekeeper, and I've been managing my life like that, and God has been faithful because I involve my children more in chores, trying to allow them to try new chores. Like now, like before, Danny used to cook only yam and egg sauce. He can make stew and boil rice, but this time around I allow Danny to cook vegetable okra, and he does that very well. That is why most of my videos, I no longer show cooking time on my videos, because sometimes I'll be out and they will make very delicious vegetable okra. So it's another thing that helps me, and is an added advantage to me personally. It may not be so with another person because of the age of their children or something like that. Another thing is, being flexible as a parent, because sometimes you plan your day. Let's be honest. You finish planning that your day, do your to-do list to everything, and one thing will scatter it. There's always emergency now. One thing will always lead to the other and just scatter all your plans for you. So in a situation like this, I love to be flexible. For example, If it's a day that in our timetable we are meant to eat beans, for example, on a Wednesday, we are meant to eat beans on a Wednesday. If it's a day like Wednesday that we are meant to eat beans, or maybe whatever we are eating, if it's white rice, we are adding beans. And I see that I no longer have that time, you know, to cook beans and rice at the same time, or cook beans and yam. I'll just, you know, we make do with whatever that is available. Be flexible. If you help yourself and you're flexible like that, don't make it like, it's a do or die affair. In some cases, you just have to be flexible. And life goes on. You allow things to flow. Sometimes when you cannot, when it's beyond your control, you just allow it to flow. Be flexible. It's not like, and it also has to do, this particular area has to do with your spouse, because if your husband is coming back home with the mindset that I'm going to eat okra today or beans today, and you as a mom, you couldn't manage your time for the day, you had emergencies here and there that, you know, actually delayed your time. For example, when it will be closing time at school, and one important lecturer, maybe for example physics lecturer, will walk into the class and be like, I'm not coming to school tomorrow, I'll be having you people tomorrow, but I'm not coming to school tomorrow, I need to teach right now, you guys need to give me an extra hour or 2 hours. In such a situation, you just right there when you're in the lecture hall, manage your time and plan a less time demanding meal that will suit the family. Communicate your spouse immediately that, babe, see, no carry on for mine say I will cook beans today. Oh. It's no longer beans and red oil stew. See what I'm going to be cooking. You get that kind of a thing. So you just learn to be flexible. It really helps a whole lot. It's another thing that helps my life. I cannot come and keep myself. This particular one is something that really helps me. See, I'm this person that asks for help. See, I love using my feminine energy. I spot my husband coming back and there's no fuel in the house. I don't balance. And I was about driving out. I'll pretend and look so tired. Are you sure this man is not going to watch this part of this video? I'll just be like, I'm so tired, but there's no phone in the house. I was about to go out. My husband will be like, don't stress, don't worry. Let me go and buy it. Use your feminine energy. Don't go and be forming man. Don't go and be forming strong woman. There is no award for strong woman anywhere. Ask for help when there is need. For example, when we're about to start my exam, I had to call my sister. See, babe, you're not writing an exam. And me, I'm about to start writing an exam. You need to come back home. Come back from your school. And do what? Help me out in this house. There is nothing bad with her asking for help. Okay, let me give another example. Sometimes I used to sleep with Emmanuel in the night. But the moment my mom started staying close to me, I shifted Emmanuel to my mom. My mom sleeps with Emmanuel now in another room in my house. So every evening, my mom already knows that I'm coming down to my daughter's house to come and sleep with my grandchild. So see, learn to delegate work to other family members, your children, and ask for help when you think it's overwhelming, when you think it's overweighing you. Honestly, I ask for help. Even my husband, sometimes I'll be like, babe, see, if you're less busy, can you help me do this? He will help you. It's when you don't ask that you don't receive. Even the Bible said, ask and you shall receive. You understand? So, so sometimes you just try to ask for help here and there, and it really helps you. It really helps a whole lot. So that's another thing that actually helps me navigate parenting with work, my life as a student, content creation, everything. My life as a mother, a wife, and a first daughter with plenty responsibilities. Another thing that helps me is I love to emphasize on quality over quantity. Yes, it's not the amount of time I spend with my children that actually matters to me, or the amount of time I spend with my spouse, or the amount of time I spend reading or cooking or doing. I love to emphasize on, okay, now we have 30 minutes time. I have 30 minutes to gist with my children. You understand? What is the topic? What are we actually discussing? That time that we're not doing anything, that our leisure time, what are we actually doing? Is another thing that really helps me, because children love to talk with their parents, especially their mom. So that time, if I discover that I'm not going to have enough time to gist with the children today, while I'm in the kitchen, I'll call them. You people should join me in the kitchen, or let's gist. What's up? How was it today? Instead of me, that time that I'll use and study, somebody will come and knock at my door. Hey, mommy, my classmate today went and checked my reg number to check my average. You know, that kind of a thing. And you start tutoring, you start teaching, you start telling them, be confident, be bold enough to tell them not to check your result next time. That time, instead of me using that time, instead of me getting disturbed when I'm doing another thing, I call them when I'm doing chores. You know, when I'm in the kitchen cooking, I call them to come and just eat out with me. And we use one bird and kill, and we use one stone and kill two birds. It's as simple as that. So it's not about how long I spend time, you know, talking and gisting with them. It's about the quality of that moment. The quality of that moment. Did you actually utilize that time? So it's another thing that is helping me navigate my whole life issue and make it a kind of stress-free for me. This particular one is something that has really helped me. The moment I went back to nursing school, the first thing I did was to cut down on my social media time. It's one of the reasons why I stopped making videos on Facebook. I used to make videos on Facebook and I react to trending topics and share my own opinion. But the moment I discovered that time I will spend on blogs looking for, you know, stories that are trending, it was really affecting my life. Then as a student, I had to drop that part. I knew that it wasn't really time, unless maybe when I get an editor or I employ a PA, somebody that will be helping me with, okay, this is what is trending now, just take out 10-15 minutes to talk about it, send me the article and I will edit and send back to you. Till I get somebody like that. For now, I dropped that part. You know why? Because it was really time consuming. You know, that time I spent putting up those topics and talking about them, those points I need to talk about, I just minimized my social media time. Not just for myself, but my children. TV times, it was completely off. It was completely off in this house. You know, I also leverage on technology, use of technology, you know, to, like the one I just said, I use Google to organize my task. I also use some apps like Cozy, Family Organizer, to just organize things that I need to do in a day and at a particular time, you know, stuff like that. Organize some articles. There's another app called Notion, but that one is actually very tedious for me. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't understand that one. So I prefer Cozy, you know, C-O-Z-I. I prefer that one. It really helps me. Once I put up 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 things in the app, it helps me to organize, and 80% of the time they get it exactly the way I want it. So another thing that has actually helped me, I used to be this woman that I overthink. I think a lot of most of the times. In a week, I've already organized myself. Like on Monday, we are eating this, Tuesday. See, when it was becoming a problem, that time I would say I'd be overthinking my brain. What I do is to use meal planning apps. They help me plan the meals we are going to eat, like in 2 weeks. And provided you have those things available, you just flow. And in some cases where you don't have all those things available, that's where you bring in being flexibility. You just work with whatever that is available and life goes on. See, you cannot come and kill yourself. As a mother, you cannot kill yourself. Adopt this my method and it's going to help you. Another thing that helps me is that I recharge myself. See, you see how you use your phone and the battery runs down and then you need to charge it. You plug it to charge. I love recharging myself. Sometimes my night is usually my morning. You know why? Especially on days like Tuesdays that I don't go to school. Now I've moved it to Monday because Mondays in the east, no movement. So I've moved it down to Mondays. I rest. You see, on Monday, once I wake up, or sometimes even before bedtime on Sunday, I tell my children, say, when you people wake up on Monday because they no longer go to school, please, you people should do this, do that, do that. Breakfast is settled. Both for my parents. I sleep till sometimes past 10 a.m. Yes, I rest because I'm a human being. So I give myself rest. I recharge myself to enable me face the workload, the family workload, the student workload, the motherhood workload, and in fact, wife workload, everything, bedroom workload. You guys get what I mean? Oh my goodness, Sandra. See, I really don't want to talk about this aspect of my life, but a lot of questions I get on a daily basis, even some people put it in the comment section. They'll be like, Sandra, you know the rest. How do you even navigate through all of these things? So that is what prompted this video. You guys called for it and now you got it. Another thing is that, you know, all work no play makes Sandra and Bright's family a very dull family. Yes, sometimes I do schedule time for me and my children to just hang out, or me and my husband to just go somewhere and relax. No videos, no phones, it's just me and him listening to good music, sitting down there talking, unwinding, because see, even if it's one bottle of water that we bought, we sit over it and unwind, go to a different environment. So days like this, we plan it ahead of time. And see, my husband know they use outing with me joke. Once I tell him, babe, let's go out on Sunday evening, he'll be like, which Sunday? Is it this Sunday? And I'll be like, no, this Sunday I'm going to go. We have a prayer meeting, soul winning meeting, this one, that one, widows meeting, widows prayer. We'll say, okay, upper Sunday. You see that upper Sunday? Once we are back from church, my husband will be like, babe, see, don't forget to, you promised me that we're hanging out today. And trust me, we are definitely going to do that. Because all work no play makes us a very dull couple. So please, sometimes even for my children, I also plan their own getaway time. Like the last time we went to Oka Library, see, we had so much fun that I forgot to record. By the time I remember that, oh, I wasn't recording, I only got a few clips. It was already late for me to start explaining to you guys that we got all dressed up, left this house to somewhere we spent over 3 hours, and then we couldn't even record a full video that all of you will be entertained with. So I just could come and forget about the video and said, oh, next time. Of course, there's going to be another time. So, and of course, that comes once in a while, because it should be included when planning your time. Always set out time that the children will go out and also have fun, because they're also human beings. All work, no play also makes them dull children. So that's that. The last thing that I want to talk about, this particular one, it took me a lot of time. It took me a whole lot of time to be able to do this one, because you know what, I'm this person that loves to be there for everybody, especially when it's family related. Forget it. I must be present. I must be present. I'm this person that everybody calls when they need something to be done. My auntie will tell me, oh, Tuesday we are going to court. The court sitting is on Tuesday. I must be there. My mom will be like, this is my farm over there. This one, that one. I must be there. But at some point, I learned to say no. When it is not convenient, I'll tell you no. Initially, when I started saying that no, it wasn't convenient for a lot of people, especially my family relations. Because to an outsider, you know, you already know that, oh, provided I know I'm not hurting someone, provided I know that, okay, it's not convenient for me, and I've told you, I've explained to you, I don't care how you feel. I've explained to you and you're not understanding me, or you're angry. Yes, I can understand that you're disappointed, but then I'm not going to trade what I've already planned to do to sorting you out. Of course, sometimes you do sacrifices for people you know you love and special people in your life, but then not at the detriment of your own life. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I don't know if you are understanding this part. For example, 80% of the women that were pregnant in my class when I resumed my nursing school, I was there when they gave birth. Some of them, I didn't even post about them here on my channel. Yes, because of the circumstances surrounding their childbirth. So I'm this person that always goes out of my way for people. But when it's not convenient, see, I'm telling you no. Even my own family members. My mom was the one that it really affected, because I hardly say no to my mom. If Wanyabako calls me, even those days that she was living at my former family house, if Wanyabako calls me and says, I want to see you tomorrow morning, see, no matter what it is, I'm going to see her. No matter what it is, I must see her. Another person that I hardly say no to is my auntie Joyce Love. But at some point, I learned to say no. I learned to say no. And it really affected them. But then, we need to adapt, and life goes on. Everybody started adapting, because, of course, they are grown up, they are adults. They need to understand that this person that don't used to tell us no is now saying no. There must be a reason for that. And coupled with the fact that I went back to school, everybody now had to understand that we are no longer dealing with that content creator Sandra that always have time. She works from home. Yes, we are not dealing with a nursing student. Oh my God, the way I've even said this thing is very funny. So I hope I've actually shared enough tips with you guys, how I navigate my own day. This must not work for everybody, like I said before. For people that their children are still very small, that aspect where I share age-appropriate chores and tasks with my children may not be working for them, of course. So share with me what works for you, what you do, how you navigate your own, how you go about your own. Share with me. I'm open to learning. I wouldn't mind learning from, the ones you've shared. I get this also a very interactive session. So let's talk about it in the comment section. Let's gist more about it. Don't watch this video without saying something. Talk about it. Say what you learned, or teach me, or any point I mentioned here that you know you want to add something to it. Of course, you're free to do that. Please add something to anyone you wish to. Okay, and of course, I'm going to see you guys once again in another beautiful video. I remain yours truly, Sandra's Reality. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel at this point, click the subscribe button and join the family. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.